All right, so we're going to talk about writing articles and blog posts. So I am actually in, so ChatSonic, you can see here, is actually like an app within a program called WriteSonic. So WriteSonic has a lot of different options that you can look at. So you've got an article writer and like SEO tools. You've got writing style, ChatSonic. Anyway, you've got all sorts of stuff that you can play around with, keyword research, everything. So we're going to just go with the article writer right now. So I pay for a subscription for this, but here we have an option of 10-step article, 4-step article, or an instant article. So this is, I'll click on this one right here. So what it's going to do is we're going to have a topic. So we're going to, what's our topic going to be? Let's see, writing the setting in fantasy novels. Let's say, how to write a descriptive fantasy. Okay. So we've got that, fantasy novels, so we want it to be in English, writing style, so I can choose a writing style premium. So I've got an academic one, which I use often, so we'll just go for academic since that's the one I've got here. So article type, AI recommended, news articles, blog posts, how-to guides, listicles, comparison blogs, technical articles, product reviews. So it might be interesting to do this in the context of other people who are comparing different blog posts. And then we have research method, AI web research recommended, customer sources. I'm going to select this one because then it's going to give me hundreds of relevant articles that we can look at. All right, so we're going to just say quality good for now, because this is going to use 15,000 words per article, and I only have, I think, 37,000 words at the moment. All right, so this is giving us something. So you could go through and copy and paste. There will be a limit to how much you can copy and paste into something like ChatGPT, so you don't have to use WriteSonic for this. But this is just a way to look at it. So this is an effective way to do this. So okay, select our keywords, primary keywords, difficulty. So we want the least difficult ones. No, never mind. I guess we're going to just choose one. Fantasy setting. Oh, let's do magical settings. Let's do that. Okay. Secondary keywords, how to write a fantasy novel step by step, how to describe a fantasy setting. Well, that's the one we wanted. And then continue. Select a title, so it's going to give us some title options. Traditional versus modern magical settings, which creates a better fantasy world. Simple versus rich magical settings, finding the sweet spot in fantasy writing. Let's just do that one. All right, continue. Now we're going to select our headings. All right, so we have outline 1 or outline 2, or we can write our own. So we're just going to look at this: understanding magic density in fantasy settings, core elements of simple magical settings, creating characteristics of rich magical settings, balance. Okay, so that one's good. Foundation, creating atmospheric magic, layering magical elements, and it sounds exciting. So let's do that one. Continue, and then it's going to generate our article. So this is just going to take a second. Sometimes it takes a little bit. So while it's working on this, let's go ahead and go into ChatGPT, and we'll just do the same thing. So we're going to say, write a blog post about how to write realistic settings for fantasy novels. Let's kind of see. Looks like we can't pull anything from what we did right there because it's just kind of going anyway. So write a blog post for creating for fantasy novels. Include a step-by-step guide and let's see, step-by-step guide. I think we can probably realistic and rich settings. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. I mean, you can see that this is a more specific prompt than the basic ones we talked about in Module 2. So we'll look and compare our different results that we get. So WriteSonic, okay, it gave us an image. There we go. So simple versus rich magical settings, finding the sweet spot in fantasy writing. It gives us a nice, so the image source is AI generated. Yeah, this image is a little bit confusing, so sometimes you're going to get weird images if it comes up with that, but it gives you an introduction, the foundation of fantasy settings, physical versus magical, establishing the baseline reality, world rules and limitations, creating atmospheric magic, sensory magic description, environmental magic effects, magic enhanced world building, layering magical elements. I guess it kind of stopped right there. But anyway, so this one might still be writing, I don't know. Oh yeah, so it's still generating the article. And then this one, crafting realistic settings for fantasy novels, a step-by-step guide, gives us our introduction. We would have to come up with our own image if we wanted to include an image with this blog post. But this is, it tells you everything. Start with the big picture. The best settings engage all five senses. What sets a fantasy world apart from reality is often its magic and mythical creatures. Step 4, root your world in human or non-human experience. So they both gave us good blog posts, and you can see, like, with one of them you're paying for these words that it gives you through a subscription, a monthly subscription, which I do pay for, or you can do it through ChatGPT. I would say that this one is going to be based on blog posts and whatever articles you set it up with in the enter article details. So let's see. Well, anyway, whatever, we had it in there somewhere that we had to choose different types of articles that we're looking at. So this one probably will go into more depth and be a little bit more refined than ChatGPT will. And I do like the voice that Writesonic gives you, because you can, as you saw, I used my academic voice, so you can set up different voices with this one.